Gonzaga basketball starts right now.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the campus at Gonzaga University. And what a game we have for you tonight. Possibly the two best teams in the West Coast Conference, an early season measuring stick tonight for both Santa Clara, 13-3 overall, 1-0 in the West Coast Conference, and the 16th ranked Gonzaga Bulldogs. They are now 14-2. Their only losses against two top 25 teams. They too are 1-0 in West Coast Conference play. Welcome courtside. Great to see everyone again. Greg Heister and Michelle Clark. This is an early season measuring stick, isn't it?
Yes, it absolutely is. Two very good teams. I mean, on paper, we were talking about how if you put them side by side, they're very evenly matched. Although Gonzaga, they just have more powerhouses to go to than Santa Clara, but this is a very good Santa Clara team.
For my money, she's the best shooter in the entire country, and man, is it poetic when it leaves her fingertips. Brenna Maxwell, when the ball goes in, she's as good as there is.
She absolutely is. She's the most unselfish, so consistent player for the Zags. She's coming off of that win from Portland, scoring 21 points, 3 of 4 from on the arc, 7 of 11 from the floor. I mean, she's shooting 97% from the free throw stripe. What more can you ask for from such a star player in Brenna Maxwell?
Yeah, she's absolutely like being in a clinic when you watch her play basketball. Santa Clara, they got 3 players in double digits. Tell us about Tess Heel.
Tess Heel, I mean, come on, she can do it all. She's doing a phenomenal job for her team this season, averaging 18.3 points per game. She's shooting 46% from the field goal stripe. I mean, she is something to be reckoned with. She can get in, create fouls, make a bucket, and then you know she's going to knock it down to the free throw stripes. So Gonzaga has a big task at guarding Heel tonight, because you better believe she's going to bring her A game.
And who knows, on the road, this Bronco team can shoot the 3 as well. Interesting matchup. It's Gonzaga, it's Santa Clara. We're back in a moment with starting lineups in the tip-off. We'll also be joined by Miss A.J. Howell. Gonzaga basketball up next. The Athletic Center. Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by Numerica Credit Union, where money answers for people who know Gonzaga does in fact exist. Let's show your Bulldog pride with your Zags debit card, offered only at Numerica, federally insured by the NCUA. Pollard, Hutchins, and Heel average in double digits for Santa Clara. For Gonzaga, you know them well. Kaylee and Kaylin, Brenna Maxwell, Eliza Hollingsworth, and there is Yvonne Egypt. Let's go to A.J. Howell, who's going to help us set up the game tonight. Hi, A.J.
Hey, Greg, you said it, this starting lineup, they are elite. We've seen a lot of them. I talked to head coach Lisa Fortier about what it means to have 5 starters that are all averaging in double digits points scored in a game. And she said, you know, I'm proud of that, but I'm even more proud of the other ways that this team has grown. Defense, rebounding, all those things that they'll need to do tonight while maintaining their dynamic offense in order to get a win. Greg?
Thanks, A.J. Well, Michelle, you played against Santa Clara often. This is a rising program, isn't it? They're getting better.
Yes, Greg, they are. This is a very good Santa Clara team. A better team that I've seen in years past. They've just been able to capitalize year after year, and we're in for a really good ball game tonight.
Led by Bill Carnell, his 8th season as the head coach. We are underway. Greg Heister, Michelle Clark, A.J. Howell, and we set her up, and she delivers. Brenna Maxwell from downtown.
From downtown, right out of the gates. I mean, what were we, 20 seconds in, maybe? And she's throwing it up, and you know what? She has the green light to do it.
And almost a takeaway, but a recovery there for Santa Clara. They'll try to settle in. This is Heel, got all the way to the rim. Left-hand shot, too hard. Maxwell clears the miss.
And that's something we're going to see a lot of tonight from Heel. Driving in, getting herself to the rim. She obviously missed that one, but I doubt she'll miss many more after that.
Here's Yvonne. Ejim skip into the corner. This is Kaylin. Back to Kaylee. 3 on the way. Ejim fights for the offensive board and a reset. Maxwell again. That one's off the left side of the rim. And the Broncos with the basketball. I would imagine, and again, this is my first look at Santa Clara, they probably don't want to get out and run with the Zags, or do they?
You know, I think they can in spurts. Santa Clara has the ability, they've got the athleticism to do it, but not for as long as Gonzaga can.
Laura Edmondson, that was a great catch and finish by the senior from Melbourne, Australia. And there's the turnover, our first of the game, taken away.
Santa Clara, that's something that's a little new this year. They're very dialed defensively. They are on their players. You see, they're in their feet, you know, their hands in passing lanes. They know exactly where that ball's going, and they are dialed tonight early.
Skip, and nice catch there by Frawley to keep it alive. 8 on the shot clock. This is Pollard. Got to 10 feet, missed the shot, came right back to her. Skip to the corner, Frawley for 3. Bingo! Santa Clara up by a bucket.
And that's something Santa Clara can do really well, is hit on the outside. They tack those offensive glass. Gonzaga is going to need to do a good job of blocking out and not allowing those second chance looks.
There's the nice feed, Ejim inside. And Hollingsworth, her first bucket, little high-low, tied at 5.
Little bread and butter there for Gonzaga.
But that's the versatility on display early for the Zags bigs.
Yes.
Kind of a staple of this program over the years.
Yeah. And then it's nice when you have a complementary outside shooters, too, who can pull the defense a little bit.
This is Hiraki, number 31, Ejim, defending. 7 on the shot clock. They'll go to the far corner. Heel on the drive. Big Euro step, left it short. Hollingsworth the rebound. Trong to Trong. Kaylin Eliza thought about the 3. She can hit him. And now the Zags working around. Good defense. Hiraki denied the pass to Hollingsworth, took it away. Another turnover by Gonzaga.
Hiraki is a very good defender. She just stays locked in all game long. I mean, she was undersized on that one, but still came up with a steal. 3
on the way. That's off the front of the rim. Pollard with that miss. Ejim wanting to feed Hollingsworth, but they front the post. Kaylee Tromp, bingo!
I really love how Gonzaga is passing the basketball right now. They seem very confident in how they're moving the basketball, seeing the entire floor, hitting the shooters. They've already worked the ball inside. It's a great start.
Zags with a couple of 3s. And so does Santa Clara. Keely Frawley, a graduate player from Melbourne.
And that's where Gonzaga really needs to hone in on those defensive assignments and making sure they're staying a little closer to those shooters, because if Santa Clara gets off and going, they can really light it up.
Look, on paper, this is a matchup between 2 really good offensive teams. The Zags outscore Santa Clara, but it's not that Santa Clara can't score the ball. This is a good offensive Bronco team.
This is a very good offensive Bronco team. I mean, come on, they're averaging 71 points per game. Gonzaga's averaging 80. Santa Clara's only giving up 55 points per game. This is a good team who's sound defensively and then can score the basketball.
And it's a Santa Clara team already with wins against Oregon and Arizona State out of the Pac-12. First time since the 1990s, I believe, that they have 2 wins against Pac-12 teams. Wasn't the Pac-12 then, I think it was the Pac-10.
Yeah. And you know, Greg, we got to remember Gonzaga's got a little chip on their shoulder. The last time these teams met, Santa Clara came up with the W.
True. And that shot was off by Kaylee Trong. And now Santa Clara can take the lead, tied at 8. This is Heel trying to create some space. Hiraki, that 3's off. Maud Hybens runs down the long rebound. Kelly Stokes, number 10, also on the floor for Gonzaga. She's got the ball. Hybens, Stokes the drive, got to the baseline, and uses all the rim. Gonzaga in front.
That's a great way by Stokes to break down the defense. A little shot fake, dribble drive to the baseline. Nice little jumper for her. That's right inside of her game.
Hot start offensively for both teams. Gonzaga 57%. I guess Santa Clara not quite as good at 38%. But they're right there, down by 2 with the ball.
And though Heel hasn't scored yet, she has gotten inside the paint almost every single play.
And Pollard rejected by Yvonne Ejim, so our first block of the game goes to Gonzaga. And now they'll set up on offense. Hybens. Maxwell split the defense but lost the grip. Hiraki picks it up, and now she'll push it. Hyben's had a hand on it. And here's Heel. Heel trying to get into the lane. Goes right at Hyben's, but missed the shot.
You see the frustration on Heel's face after that one. You know, she's had some looks. She's getting inside the key, but nothing's dropping for her.
Yeah, 18 points a game. She'll get them going eventually.
Yep.
Yvonne Egypt, boy, you got to stop her. The scouting report says she can put it on the floor, I'm sure.
Yes, but the hard part about Egypt is she can do it all. She can also hit a jumper, too. Great job by Yvonne recognizing that dribble drive and getting into the lane.
And Maxwell, great anticipation as they try to go to the post. Stokes trying to keep it alive. And a lot of contact with Tess Heel and Stokes. Everybody appears to be all right. 3:18 to play and an explosive start here at the McCarthy Athletic Center. First quarter, Zags up by 4. And welcome back to the McCarthy Athletic Center. Here's tonight's keys to the game, brought to you by Northern Quest Resort and Casino. Go ahead, Lord.
All right, keys to the game. Defensive assignments, we've seen it early already. Heel and Poland combined for 50 points in their last game. Heel, we've seen her getting into the key there. She hasn't been able to knock anything down, but then she opens up the floor for those other teammates and those outside shots. So understanding those defensive assignments, knowing where those shooters are, not allowing them to get going, and then rebounds. Santa Clara has a plus 6.9 rebound differential. No second chance options for Santa Clara is what Gonzaga needs to do, is shut them down early. This is a good shooting team, so if you give them a second chance, it's more than likely going to go in.
And if you turn the ball over, you're going to give them extra chances. Gonzaga already with 4 turnovers.
Yes, yes. Taking care of the ball is a must, but that's something they've done a pretty good job of for the most part. But, you know, this is a really good defensive Santa Clara team.
And you know, Coach Fortier is over there reminding her team of that. Coaches know. The turnover is one of those things that it will drive 100% of the coaches crazy in this profession.
Yep.
You turn the ball over, you're probably going to end up on the bench. But with the Zag team, these players are so, like Brenda Maxwell has 2, Kaylee Trong has 2. They're not coming out of the game often. And
Hiraki, for Santa Clara, with the ball right now, is their best defender. She has all 3.
Yes.
She has all 3 of those steals in her bucket. She's a great defender.
Came in with nearly 170, I think, in her career. That's her game. There's a great poke away by Kaylee Trong. Ball got to the post under the bucket. Zag defense coming alive. Trong the drive, and it falls up, and does she get it back? No. Stripped away. Hiraki wins the battle. And now Santa Clara down by 4, shot on the way. Stokes runs it down in the corner.
Great job by Stokes running that ball down.
Maddie Naro, number 12 on the floor for the Broncos. Kaylee to Kaylin. Hyben. Stokes, corner 3. Good look. Zags now 2 of 6 from behind that line. Santa Clara again down by 4. They need a bucket. They've been denied the last few possessions.
Yep, they have. They've had some good looks that haven't dropped in.
Hiraki. Oh my, got all the way to the rim with the left hand, got by Hybens.
You see Stokes forcing her to her offhand and giving her that left lane, but then there was just no help side defense there, and she just gave her the entire lane.
She won't do that again.
Nope.
Hiraki just proved, okay, you give me my left, I'll be all right. Free throw line, rattles in. Kaylin Trong, her first field goal. Zags up by 4, 14-10. And a foul called on Stokes.
That's a tough call there.
Really tough.
I know, because there was a little bit of contact, but Stokes was moving her feet, had her hands up in the air. That's just one of those tough calls.
And Naro was out of control, really.
Yeah.
Just lost her footing. First foul of the game against Gonzaga goes to Stokes. Still without a bucket. His heel, she's 0 for 3. Great cut, but can't finish was Edmondson. You know Bill Carr wants to get heel going.
Absolutely, he wants to get her going. And you know what? She's getting in and she's getting what she wants, but maybe it's the length of Gonzaga that's throwing her off a little bit. They're pushing her outside the key on her drives, which is great. They're understanding their assignment.
This is a long team. 5 on the shot clock. Trong with the heave. And Santa Clara controls. There's Heel, got into the paint. The kick out for 3 is long. And Esther Little, the junior from Ipswich, England. Love saying Ipswich.
You notice this Santa Clara team has the green light to shoot early shots in the shot clock. Multiple times down the floor, you see Heel driving in and kicking out, and they've got the green light to let it fly.
5 on the clock, taken away. Chance for Santa Clara to hit one at the horn, and it's off the glass and good. Mariah Hutchins at the buzzer from deep downtown. That was down by the river, ladies and gentlemen. It's 14-13. Maybe that's the sign of things to come between Gonzaga and Santa Clara tonight. We got a whale of a game ahead. Stay tuned. Tonight's Gonzaga basketball broadcast brought to you by Arby's, your delicious neighborhood meat crafter. Stop by Arby's today. Arby's, we have the meats. Well, what a highlight already here at the end of that first quarter. Sparked by another turnover, partner.
Yeah, another turnover by the Zags that resulted in a final second shot there for Santa Clara to pull within 1 point of the Zags going into this second quarter. Turnovers, right? Understanding positioning and play, and because all of those turnovers, not all of them, I think, 4 of the 5 turnovers have resulted in points for Santa Clara.
Yeah, and just great patience there by Hutchins. She must have taken a glance at that clock. She knew exactly how much time she had, and she got her feet square and let it rip. Use the glass. We got a 1-point game. And again, you skew this out, 14 points for Gonzaga. You skew that out over 4 quarters, you're looking at a 56-point offensive night. That feeds Santa Clara's strategy. Yep,
that's exactly where they're at with their opponents. Defensively, they're doing a really good job. Gonzaga's going to have to make some adjustments in this second quarter.
And on the flip side, Zags were 6 of 12, so they shot it well. You don't turn the ball over. And the lead is much bigger. And right now, Santa Clara with that bucket leads by 1, 15-14. And that is Heel's first field goal. So Bill Carr, the head coach of Santa Clara, is sitting over there thinking to himself, okay, that's our first bucket. We're up by 1. We're in it. Hollingsworth. Eliza, what a weapon she is.
She is. That was a great penetration dribble drive by Little, and then to just dish it off to Hollingsworth. That was beautiful.
Great soft hands and physical enough to get it to the rim. Corner 3. Guess who that was? Hutchins. So she's now 1 of 2 from behind the 3-point line. And now Kaylin Trong will set up the offense for Gonzaga. Ejim wanting it. She's got it. Little. Turned down the 3. Hollingsworth wide open. Missed her. And it's 6 turnovers now for Gonzaga. Look, pass is a little high. Maybe Eliza's got to come down with that, but a lot of uncertainty on that play. Timing was off.
Well, she threw her a bullet pass, you know, it just softened it up just a little bit. But the right idea.
And then Heel just turned it over. The tie-up possession arrow goes to Gonzaga.
You see Heel's frustration a little bit. You know, she knocked down that last shot in the last play, but she's still frustrated a little bit. She's having a hard time getting going.
Yeah, she has 2 turnovers, but probably not coming out of the game often. Ejim. Yvonne will go to the free throw line. I thought she was going to have a 3-point play.
like Yvonne's assertiveness. When she got the ball, she squared up to the rim right away, did a little jab fake. She knew exactly what she was going to do. She was going to get to the rim, little dribble drive, and she pulled up for that jumper, and now she has a chance to earn it up the stripes.
Just one of those players that when the ball gets to her hands, the game seems to slow down.
Yep.
There's great patience in Yvonne Ejim, great touch, and then she'll explode through you like a raging bull.
Lull you to sleep just enough to get you,
and then
leave
just
you
hit
standing
you with
still.
with a forearm shiver.
Yeah.
Here's Heel, picked up her dribble. Brenna Maxwell back on the floor for Gonzaga, number 22. Heel on the drive, left it inside. Hiraki through contact.
That is one thing Heel is doing a great job of right now, is finding her teammates. She is a very good assist player. She's going to find her teammates in those pockets, and they'll get converted to points.
Oh, Caitlin Trong. Little kiss of the fingers.
Man, did they need a little lift like that? You know, the bench just erupted like, okay, here we go.
But Ejim set a screen at the top there, and it freed up Caitlin. She was wide open, nobody within 5 feet of her.
Amazing what a solid screen will do.
That shot way off. Gonzaga now up by 4 with the ball. They can get to their largest lead of the game right here. Bree Salenbein checking in, number 35 for Gonzaga. And of course, her story well documented. Gonzaga almost another turnover. And I tell you what, Hiraki is quick.
Yes.
Got some feet.
And hands.
Egypt picks it up, throws it up, and
pure athleticism right there.
Yeah. Just the ability to recover on the doorstep of adversity. 6-point Gonzaga lead, their largest of this half. Hutchins with a drive on Hybens. Ran into Ejim. Hybens takes it out of the air.
And that's the length of Gonzaga right there, with Ejim getting her hand up and tip on that basketball.
Tough pass there for Yvonne Ejim to handle. Turnover number 7 on Gonzaga. Tell you what, Bill Carr, if Santa Clara is down by any significant number at halftime, Bill Carr is going to look at those turnovers and say, look, they're going to give it to us. We got to start converting. And there you go.
And that's something Heel can do very well right there. Keeping the ball in her hands, changing directions. You see her going right, quick crossover, and then she finds herself with a left-handed layup on the other side.
Kaylee Trong, bounce. Kaylin, Hybens. That 3 is off. Ejim. Yvonne Ejim.
Hustling. Just, that's a hustle play right there. Following the basketball, getting that rebound put back, muscling through a little contact.
All desire. Yvonne now with 8 points. Leads all scorers. Hiraki off the screen, the switch there by Gonzaga. 3 on the clock. Shot away, off. Never touched iron. So the shot clock violation. Frawley missed that shot, had a good look.
She did, and Hybens did a good job of recovering. There's a little bit of discrepancy between the two of them, right? Hybens used her length. She got beat on that drive, but she stuck with it and then kept a high hand to just get that shot blocked just a bit.
You know, we should gloss over this. Bree Salenbein on the floor for Gonzaga. This is her 3rd game that she's played. She's averaged 10 minutes in the other 2. This is one of the most highly decorated players that Gonzaga's ever landed. And her career has begun, finally.
Yes, finally she's out there on the floor. We get to see what it's all about.
27-19, Gonzaga's 8-point lead, the largest. Hiraki missed the shot. Salenbein. Hybens.
that play just kind of continued to develop. It wasn't really Hybens, it just kind of fell into her at the end there.
Well, yes, I think Trunk tried to go to Hybens first. Wasn't ready.
Yep.
There's a great rebound by Bree, great box out. Zags up by 10 with the ball. They're looking to blow it open. There's a three on the way. Bingo! How about that? Bree Salenby. The first three in her Gonzaga career. And it extends the lead to 13.
She says, here I am, everybody. Coming off of that screen, sets her feet. The ball drops right down into the rim. Beautiful.
I have arrived. Gonzaga coverage of the game brought to you by Primera, proud partner of the Gonzaga basketball program. Great heads up there play by Bree Salenby. And then she buried the three. And Gonzaga's lead now at 32-19 on a Santa Clara team that is 13-3 on the year with wins against Oregon and Arizona State. Of course, Gonzaga's only loss is a tough one in overtime down in Pullman against Washington State, who was ranked in the top 25 at the time. And then their only other loss against number 20 Louisville. Other than that, they've been perfect.
It was a good stretch there by the Zags, and you know what tipped it off? Not turning the ball over.
It's amazing how that happens. Their defense also kind of ratcheted up.
Yes.
Santa Clara now 8 of 24, 33%. 4 on the shot clock. Corner three is up and good by number 12, Maddie Naro, a freshman from Beaverton, Oregon.
That is just so hard to defend when you got shooters all around the arc and you're flying around trying to have help side on that dribble drive. Santa Clara knocked it down. You know what? They needed it.
Salenby again. Open three. That one rimmed out. Hollingsworth trying to keep it alive. Hiraki got over there and took it away. And now Santa Clara, Hiraki. Boy, good defense there by the Zags, denying that pass. Possession will stay with Santa Clara, but good defense.
Kaylee getting her hand on that, saying, nope, you're not going to pass it wherever you want to pass it here.
Yeah, and actually that was off of Bronco. They said Gonzaga ball.
Yeah, great play. See Kaylee stepping in. Oh, trying to take the charge, actually.
So 2:40 to play in this first half. Gonzaga up by 10. Kaylee Tron. Skip to the corner. Salenby bounce, and good recovery there defensively by Olivia Pollard as Hollingsworth had an easy two.
I thought Bree had the shot there in the corner. Look, I wanted her to let it fly.
Plenty of time on the clock. Hybens. Hollingsworth with a great cut, but missed the shot. Hiraki to the post. Salenby there to close it off. This is Heel. Still with just that one field goal. Skip to the corner. Hiraki's three. That's long. Long rebound. Another chance for the Broncos. Heel sets up the offense. Hybens ripped it away. Gonzaga on the move. Great move, Kaylee Trong. Foul is called. And the foul called, I believe, on Heel.
You know, I think Kaylee's telling Hill, hey, I can play that game too. You want to see my dribble drive to the rim? I got handles as well.
First foul on Heel. Ivins, Salenbine go out. Stokes and I believe Ejim just checked in. Kaylee now with 6 points.
Watch this.
Zip.
Handles. Zip finds that little opening. Almost knocked it down. Instead, knocked 2 down at the free throw line.
So Kaylee goes out, Kaylin comes in, and that's, when I think of the Trong sisters, that's what I think of. They're literally the most interchangeable twins I've seen in all these years calling games, whether it's men or women. There have been a lot of twins that play in programs. One is oftentimes better than the other.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the case with them. They seem to be so interchangeable and so evenly talented.
Yeah, they do. I agree. I absolutely agree. I think it's difficult for other teams when you got players like that. You know, one subs out, the other comes in. You just don't, you never take a break.
Yeah, and really you have 10 fouls.
Yep.
Right? Because you can't get, you get one of them in foul trouble, the other one's just going to step in and she's the same player.
Yes.
Kaylin trying to go to the post. Yvonne Ejim wanting it. Great look. Hollingsworth left hand. What offense.
I just love how Hollingsworth just continues to work. She never stops. A few plays back, we see her cutting down to the rim. Ejim with the big steal.
And the lay-in.
Gonzaga making some huge adjustments in this second quarter to really take hold of this game right now.
And Ejim with that bucket into double digits with 10. Gonzaga's lead extended to 16. And right now there are ripples going across the West Coast Conference. Heels 3 on the way. That's off. Hollingsworth the rebound. Gonzaga will play for 1. If this is the second best team in the West Coast Conference, Gonzaga has them down by 16 and maybe more at the half.
Which says,
Hello, top 10.
Yes.
That's what it tells me.
Yes.
Hello, top 10. Hollingsworth, the 3 is good. And it's going to count.
I love that, because Hollingsworth worked her tail off this quarter, doing so many things for this Gonzaga team, and to finish out the half with that 3, well deserved.
And the Zags lead at 41-22. Eliza Hollingsworth with 9 points. She's 4 of 5 from the floor, 2 rebounds. And that shot from the wing was a line drive. All right, A.J. Howell, what do you got?
Guys, I'm here with head coach Fortier. Now, you guys were able to keep the Broncos' main scorers numbers pretty low early on, but it was still close in the first quarter. What adjustments were made to be able to pull away in the second?
Well, I don't think that we were switching very well. We were letting them get, the drivers were switching and then letting the drivers drive and the shooters shoot. And if you're going to switch stuff, you have to be able to defend all the players out there. And we had some mishaps, and we were, you know, better in the second quarter of defending who that person is, regardless of if they're your main guard or if you're on someone else's player who's supposed to be on them, you know.
Things clicking offensively for you guys a lot more in the second quarter as well. Is that about being choosy with the shots, or just keep putting them up and seeing where they fall?
Well, I mean, Hiraki had 3 steals in the first quarter because we were just dribbling around her casually. She's a really good defender. You can't do that. They've scouted us well, so they know what our tendencies are. And so I think that we didn't rush anything. We didn't force anything. The second quarter, we let the play come to us. A couple of them were later in the shot clock, but we didn't have any shot clock violations. I think we're much better if we're patient and we're letting the offense present itself.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you, A.J. Zags end that second quarter on a 18-3 run. And so they have extended this lead out to 19. Led by Yvonne Ejim's 10, Eliza Hollingsworth 9 points, Kaylee Trong 7. The Zags were 10 of 13 from the floor in the second quarter. That's 77%. The offense clicking in Spokane. Well, the Gonzaga halftime report brought to you by Coeur d'Alene Casino. Join us at Coeur d'Alene Casino for a mouth-watering steak dinner, pampering spa treatment, or the hottest games around. Coeur d'Alene Casino, a proud sponsor of Gonzaga Athletics. Coeur d'Alene Casino, welcome home. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Well, I always judge these first halves by the mood of Lisa Fortier. you could tell she was a little upset with the turnovers in that first quarter, but there was a glow in her eyes about that second quarter, wasn't there?
There was a glow in her eyes. You know, she did. She called it, though.
Yeah.
She said, hey, we understood our assignments defensively in that second quarter. We didn't in the first quarter, and they made adjustments, and they went on a run. Santa Clara started turning the ball over, which is what Gonzaga was doing in the first quarter, and Gonzaga capitalized on it.
Yeah, Zags outscored them 27-9 in the second, so they both clamped down defensively, caused 5 turnovers, and then Gonzaga's offense 77% from the floor in the second quarter. Let's take a look at some highlights. Zags were really good. Yvonne Ejim led them with 10 points.
Yes, she did, and she did it kind of quietly, right, in a way.
Agree.
But, man, getting to the rim, understanding, squaring up. You see this athletic play there. She kind of lost the handle, got a hold of it, rised up, knocked it down, chasing down the basketball for an easy 2 points there. She is just doing what she does, right, so well. She's going to do all the hustle plays. She's going to make those, you know, easy shots, and then she's going to do whatever it takes to get her team the W.
Yeah, this team is so gifted at shooting the basketball. Ejim, obviously all that power, but the touch. You look at these guards around the perimeter. If you take one of them away, there's like 5 others waiting to come off that bench and just bang it in. It's crazy. It's really crazy.
It's hard to defend that.
Yeah, 41-22. We're at the half at the McCarthy Athletic Center. We're back in a moment. And welcome back to the McCarthy Athletic Center. Number 16, Gonzaga 41. Santa Clara, the Broncos 22. Greg Heister, Michelle Clark, A.J. Howell courtside for this tilt tonight. Here's tonight's upcoming schedule, brought to you by Idaho Central Credit Union, your financial success fan club. San Diego, then they go on the road to Los Angeles to play the Lions, St. Mary's, at Santa Clara, at San Fran, at San Diego, at Pacific. But I tell you what, partner, from what I've watched so far in this first half and the few other games that I've called, Gonzaga may not get tested, I mean really tested, in the West Coast Conference this year. That doesn't mean they're going to win them all, because everybody can have a bad game. But I mean like tested throughout this league where every night will count.
You know, Santa Clara, for sure, will probably test them again at their home court.
They won there last year.
They won there last year. Portland, we thought was going to be a big test for the Zags. Who knows?
Not so much.
Not so much, but yeah, you got to wonder, okay, how are the Zags going to keep themselves competitive and going throughout the WCC and be ready for postseason play?
Yeah, and is it, as a player, when you're on a team that's this good,
yeah,
and really your legacy, and I get it, winning championships is still what the program's all about. So winning a West Coast, I don't want to undermine that at all.
Yes.
Winning a West Coast Conference championship is still the main goal of the season. But you know, your legacy and your history and all of those things, to leave your mark, will happen in the month of March.
Absolutely.
You can't wait to get there.
Nope. And this is a great team. I'm excited for
Really
that.
good. Yeah, it's a really good team.
Yes.
It can defend. It can play with power. It's got size all over the floor.
Yep.
And, man, can they shoot the basketball.
Full package.
Yeah, it's exciting. Halftime continues. Back in a moment. And welcome back to the McCarthy Athletic Center as we get ready now for the start of the third quarter. Greg Heister, Michelle Clark, A.J. Howell. Here's your first half stats. As you might imagine, as indicated by the scoreboard, it was all Zags, especially once we got to that second quarter. Holy smokes.
Right.
It was overwhelming Zag dominance, like a hurricane rolling through the Broncos of Santa Clara.
Something that stands out to me, though, is free throws. For Santa Clara didn't get to the stripes not one time.
Zags only took 4.
4, right.
Fast first half.
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing for you and I.
No, and you know, that was something that with a team like Santa Clara who can penetrate and get into the key, that the Zags were a little bit aware of, like, you know, getting into foul trouble and that sort of thing. That's something I'm sure they discussed at halftime. A good job moving your feet, not getting into foul trouble, but you you better believe Santa Clara in this third quarter is going to continue to look to penetrate, and I'm sure Coach Carr said, we got to get to the free throw line.
And right away, guess who it is who's going to go to the free throw line? Number 34, Tess Heel, just her second field goal, and now a chance for 3. Well, you know what Bill Carr said at half?
That's what he said.
Get it to Heel, let her go.
Yep, get her to the free throw line. She's a, what is she? She's a 90% free throw shooter. Almost a guarantee it's going in.
And it's 41-25. Caitlin Drawn. A bullet to Egypt. Couldn't quite catch it. That doesn't happen often.
No, it doesn't.
It would have been interesting to see what she was going to do with the ball, though. She was so far under the basket there. There's a look at 3, up and good by number 5, Olivia Pollard.
And pretty good start for Santa Clara, right? Getting to the free throw line already, knocking down a 3. I'd say that's exactly how they wanted to come out.
6-0 start, and now another turnover. As Echem, her second turnover here in back-to-back possessions.
A little reminiscent of how this game started. See if the Zags can make an adjustment.
That left hand too hard for Pollard. Here's Brenna Maxwell. Echem. Yvonne to the middle. Drew the defense away from Hollingsworth and dumped it off.
Yvonne just so smooth and composed. Squares up, dribble penetration, sees her teammate, dumps it down. What more could you ask for from a player like Yvonne?
Yeah, point center. And now Santa Clara. Iraqi, 8 on the shot clock. Avoids the screen, drives, left it short. Hollingsworth clears the miss. And look, Gonzaga's not going to overwhelm you with their athleticism. But man, are they going to overwhelm you with their IQ.
Yes.
Every one of these players
Every one of these
next
players.
level IQ players.
Yep. And then you got somebody like Brenna Maxwell, who was a little quiet in that second quarter,
Yeah.
right? And here she is. I mean, they just have threats all over the court. But yes, back to that IQ. We have a lot of seasoned basketball players on the court.
Heel found the open shooter. Loose ball. Picked up another chance for Santa Clara. Frawley kept it alive. And I think that's what makes them so fun to watch, because you get to see team basketball at its best. And that's a whistle travel. So Heel turns it over, her 5th of the game.
I thought the play before that was potentially a travel by Heel. And that was a good call there.
Where Brenna is. Almost sitting on the bench.
And you know what? That is one of the toughest shots. You know, deep corner threes are tough, but that was kind of like a interim, side angle on the wing there, and she just knocked it down with ease.
You know, for people in town that haven't seen this, hasn't seen Brenna Maxwell play as strong, misses the 3, I characterize it by saying it's the fastest release I've ever seen. Man, woman, child, beast, it doesn't matter.
Yes.
It's the fastest release I've ever seen. And people look at me and I'm like, no, you gotta come see it. Like, it gets off, you can't defend her.
Yep. You know what the key is? Next time, watch her feet. Her footwork is so good. Her feet get set, just like that's what allows her to get her shot off as quick as she does.
But the pass comes and it's almost like she transfers it to the rim from 25 feet away.
Yep.
Pass comes and it's right up.
He's got you.
Thank you. Oh. I was flailing my hand and my marker went flying out onto the floor. Egypt, nice finish. Sorry, thank you.
Our friendly referees helping us out.
Yvonne Egypt now with a dozen 12. That's never happened to me before in all these years. Heel knocked to the floor, and the travel call. She's having a tough day.
She is.
Sophomore from Melbourne, Australia. One of 5 Aussies on this team for Bill Carr. A lot of good basketball being played in that country. Way down under. Here's Maxwell. Hollingsworth. Contact, scores. Rocky was knocked to the floor, no whistle.
I know, but I think that was a good no call. She was there. There wasn't a ton of contact, and Hollingsworth didn't lean into her. She just jumped straight up. That was a good no call.
Great give and go, but unable to convert is Pollard. Gonzaga up by 19, looking to build. Maxwell to the rim. Hollingsworth offensive rebound. Putback goes! And the whistle.
I just love how Eliza Hollingsworth just never stops. She just doesn't. She does all those hustle plays, constantly pursuing the basketball, and then she ends up getting herself to the free throw line to make it a three-point play. You see her just all over, creating contact, getting it to drop. I just love watching her.
Eliza now with 15 points. This is her first free throw of the game. But what a night for her. She's now 7 of 8. She's got 4 rebounds, 15 points in 18 minutes. Make it 16 points. She leads everybody.
And that's what makes this team so good, you know, because she's surrounded by a ton of great players. So how is she going to get it done? With hustle plays just like that.
And she's probably getting better at practice than she is in these games.
Yes.
Santa Clara desperately needs a bucket right now. Gonzaga on a 7-0 run. Up by 22, their largest lead of the game, and it's taken away by Brenna Maxwell, and the Zags will run again. Kaylin Maxwell turned down the three, got to the elbow. Jump shot, falls off. Long rebound. Stokes, Maxwell, Kaylin Trong, three on the way, and it falls off. Hollingsworth another rebound. Maxwell the heave, and that one's off. And Stokes puts it through. Emma Schaefer falling down, was able to get the rebound, but she threw it right to Stokes.
Right to a Gonzaga player, but constant pursuit of the basketball by Gonzaga on that play.
Here's Stokes, the catch and the finish.
There's a little breakdown defensively by Gonzaga. Great job by the Broncos capitalizing on it. Wide open inside the key.
Good job by Schaefer to rebound after the mistake on the other end.
Yep.
And there's the foul on Schaefer. We've got a timeout on the floor. 4:42 to play in the third. Gonzaga looking like world beaters tonight. Man, oh man. And welcome back to tonight's Gonzaga basketball broadcast, brought to you by Arby's, your delicious neighborhood meat crafters. Whoop, we'll get to that one in a moment. Time to announce tonight's, whoop, I turned the wrong page. Number 7, okay, here we go. Gonzaga Hoops play the game. Brought to you by Multicare Health System. Whether you're at home or in the kennel, Multicare's team of doctors, nurses, and specialists partner with you all season long. That was our play of the game. It ended with Stokes. It was calamity for a while.
Stokes was just in the right spot at the right time, but man, all 5 Gonzaga players pursuing the basketball on that play, getting rebound after rebound, and Stokes was just in the right spot. Schaefer thought maybe she was passing to a teammate, but Stokes was able to knock down the 2 points.
Well, 55-33. Little sponsor read malfunction there. But we got it under control. The Broncos don't have the Zags under control. Hollingsworth, 2 more. And how hard is that shot?
Yeah.
And she just made it look like a piece of cake.
Yeah, she did.
12 feet away off the glass is a tough shot.
It really is. That little kiss off the glass from that corner angle.
Eliza now with 18 points on 8 of 9 shooting. Schaefer kicked to the wing. And Kaylin Trong called for the foul. She got a little too physical with Jade Cady.
She knew it too. She said, yep, you got me. I'm a little out of position. I fouled her.
Deal. Hyman's there to stop her. And look at Kaylin Trong. The run out left-hand lay-in.
A little bit of a slow start, you know, initially in the third quarter for Gonzaga, and kind of looked like it was going to be reminiscent of the first quarter, but man, they have come alive defensively, doing exactly what they did in that second quarter.
Well, look, obviously their offensive prowess is on display tonight, but what's obvious to me is the size of this team.
Yes.
I mean, look at Hybens and Hollingsworth and Egypt. You bring in Bree Salenbine. You know, Stokes off the bench at the 3, and there's the 3 on the way. And Kelly knocks it down. I mean, this is a really long, big team.
It is. And, you know, the Broncos have Hiraki, who's a great defender, but, man, they need 4 more of her to try to stop this Zags team.
Well, and everybody on this team rebounds.
Yes.
Everybody that's played tonight has at least 1 rebound for Gonzaga.
Yep.
All the guards, everybody rebounded.
And rebounds are hustle plays, right? Look at Stokes knocking it down for the Zags. Beyond the arc, pointing to her teammates, having a little fun with it.
Yeah, she's 3 of 4. Free throw up and good by Pollard. Makes it 62-34. Salenbine clears the miss, quick outlet. Kaylin left it for Salenbine. Bree the drive, got all the way to the rim. Ball may have been deflected on the way up. Back comes Santa Clara. And Hybens. Salenbine behind the back. Leaves it for Stokes. She's pinned on that baseline, and then the heads-up play to throw it off a Bronco.
And back to what you said earlier, a little basketball IQ there by Stokes, right? You know, just that seasoned team say, I'm falling out of bounds, and throwing it off a Bronco's knee so they can keep it Gonzaga basketball. You see she gets stuck. She gets double teamed. She doesn't want to know where to go, so she throws it off the Bronco's knee. That's a high IQ move right there.
And you know, there aren't many players teams in the entire country that will go 9 deep like this Zag.
Right.
Like legitimately 9 deep. Not just got to get somebody some minutes in case we need her down the stretch. Like, these players are going to play. They're going to go 9 deep through the tournament.
Yeah, and they can score and they can defend. It's not just a fill-in spot. They're actually going to do some damage on the stat sheet.
Salenbine. There's a whistle. Esther Little coming in. It's Gonzaga ball. Not sure what the call was.
I'm not either.
I guess they called Santa Clara out of bounds. I don't remember the ball hitting the top of the glass, but maybe it did. Egypt, what a find. Little can't connect. Just came in, though, in fairness to her. Pulled off the bench. Hiraki to the rim. There's Esther with the rebound. Offensive foul called. That's on Egypt. Yvonne doesn't like the call.
No, she did not like that call. She's trying to understand what did she do, because she's transitioning down the court, and it looked like a Bronco player kind of ran into her, and I think the referee thought that Yvonne was trying to set a screen.
And the fans just saw the play up on the big board. They don't agree either. 2 fouls on Yvonne. Kaylee Trong. Yvonne directing traffic. Salenbine with the handle. Trong for 3. Oh, we're spoiled. Zags are 8 of 18 from downtown. 65-34. Look, keep in mind, this is a Santa Clara team that's 13-3 on the year with victories over 2 Pac-12 teams.
Right.
Nice finish.
But they're coming up against a very good Gonzaga basketball team who's very sound defensively and can score. you know, this is probably, you know, the toughest challenge that Santa Clara has seen all season.
I don't think probably. I think it's.
It is.
This is not the 16th best team in the country.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. Like, if it's not a top 10 team.
Yep. Yep.
I don't. I call a lot of Pac-12 teams. This Gonzaga team beats a lot of teams in the Pac-12.
Yes.
And you, again, these are a lot of veteran players for Coach Fortier. So
Yes.
when the season begins, you kind of know what you have. They are kind of what they are. But you bring in Bree Allen by now.
Yeah.
Now she, like, this team can get better.
Yes.
It can get better, and the whole team feels that. And now you're competing for minutes again with somebody else who wants to be out there on the floor.
Right.
Egypt near the horn, and a chance for three.
Great job by Egypt creating that space early. You see it in transition. She locks her player down behind her. She's calling for the basketball, and then it gets to her, and she has a chance to convert it into a three-point play.
Zags not satisfied. Running the floor to beat the horn. You know, and that's the problem, right? You get into these games up by 30 and you want to get the bench into the game down the stretch. Well, most of the bench has already been in the game.
Yeah.
Because they're so darn good. And they'd probably start 10 deep. Oh, and Maxwell took it away. The Heat won't go. But Gonzaga leads it by 32 after 3. Oh, my. 68-36. What a show in Spokane. And welcome back. Tonight's Smiles of the Game are brought to you by Delta Dental. We're on a mission to help make Washington State 100% cavity-free. To learn more, visit cavityfreewa.com to see how we are making a difference in our community. Brought to you by Delta Dental of Washington, proud supporters of Healthy Smiles and your Gonzaga Bulldogs. And that he started with Eliza Hollingsworth smiling, and she better be 18 points, 8 of 9 from the floor, 6 rebounds. She's my player of the game.
Yes. And her mom's in the stands.
And her mom is here. That's right.
Yeah.
Yes. Little extra added motivation.
Absolutely.
Destiny Burton, number 1 on the floor for Gonzaga. Our first look at Destiny, the 10th player to see action in this game for the Zags, and Egypt will go back to the line to shoot a couple of free throws.
I mean, Greg, how do you defend that?
You don't. And I said, I don't know when, a year or two ago, Yvonne Egypt is what's going to take this program to the next level. Because in my opinion, what's always held Gonzaga back beyond the top 20 was that 6'5" post player that played with power and could play through contact. And then Yvonne Egypt comes along, and not only can she do that, but she's got skill too. Like, she can get to the elbow and hit a jumper. She can feed, play high-low, but she's got the power and the brawn to get it done too.
Yes. She truly is, you know, she's that humble, hungry player who's going to get in there and get after it, but she's also going to be a good teammate in the process and share the basketball.
Totally, and she's all about winning.
Yes.
She's all about winning.
And she's a pre-med major.
Oh, she is? I didn't know that. Well, she's a heck of a defender, too, and a run-out lay-in.
Second one of the game.
And Yvonne now with 19 points. She's just jumped in front of Eliza Hollingsworth to lead the game in scoring. Corner 3 on the way. That's off. Egypt another rebound. Yvonne now with 4 rebounds and 4 assists. I don't know. Eliza's played well, but maybe Yvonne Egypt's our player of the game.
I don't know.
With those assists.
Yeah.
4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 19 points.
2 steals to add to.
Kaylee Tron. Chance for 3. What do you do? What do you do if you're a coach in the West Coast Conference? You're competing your tail off, right? You think you got a team that can really compete.
Yeah.
And doggone it, it's the Zags again.
I know. Yeah, what do?
You must have nightmares. You must go to sleep seeing that Bulldog in your vision, right? Because doggone it, the Zags are good again.
Yes. It would eat me up every
It
night.
would have to.
Just be thinking, how? What is it?
Yeah.
What
How
adjustments?
How do we deal with this? This is now the greatest domination in the history of the West Coast Conference when you look at the number of years and the number of conference titles, the trips to the NCAA tournament. You know, and I mean, it's
big caliber wins.
It's a good time to be alive in Zagville.
Yes, yes it is. And you know, this was due to come for the Zags. You know, a lot of these players, you know, they're using their COVID season redshirt year. They're all seasoned. They know they've been playing together for a long time, and they're finally hitting their prime.
Yeah.
At
and really, to put a cap on all of this, you played for Kelly Graves. The program was in amazing condition during his tenure.
Yes.
And you're thinking, okay, if Coach Fortier and her staff can just maintain, well, they haven't done that. They've exceeded.
Yes.
They've taken it above and beyond.
And
who knows now? Like, you start getting deeper in the NCAA tournament, you build a team that can score. Like, who doesn't want to come and score 80, 90 points a game on the women's side?
Right.
Who knows, maybe a Caitlin Clark eventually ends up in red, white, and blue playing at the McCarthy Athletic Center because of this.
Yeah, absolutely. If I'm a Caitlin Clark and I'm in high school, I'm looking at the Zags, oh yeah, I would want to go there and play in front of a sold-out crowd, have great attendance. People love Gonzaga basketball. We've got great facilities, a winning program.
The style.
Yeah.
Right? Move the ball, team-oriented. It's all about movement and playing with your brain, but having the ability to make a shot.
Yes.
Yeah,
sign me up for that.
I say this every time I get to do one of these Zag women's broadcasts. Like, I'm so impressed with that coaching staff and what Lisa Fortier has done, because you just don't know. When you lose a coach that's had success, you're like, okay, and look, we're going to see it with Nick Saban at Alabama. Who could ever do better than that? But who knows? Maybe because it's happened here. It's happened here. I mean, Courtney Vandersloot played here.
Yes.
And now the program's better than when Courtney Vandersloot played.
Yeah. I know. And you know what? I mean, back to the coaching staff, they've been together the whole time.
Yeah.
That's pretty remarkable. You don't see that very often. They love it here. They love each other, obviously. They love what they're all building together, and it's showing.
Yeah, and I don't see it slowing down.
No.
I mean, obviously, NIL is going to affect all of the sports. I'm not sure it's going to affect the women's game as much. You know, maybe those top 5 or 8 programs, it's a major impactful recruiting tool. As Maxwell, again, that shot is just so beautiful. I could watch her shoot it. I could just walk into a gym and sit there for 2 hours. Just watch her shoot it.
Let me see your mechanics.
So amazing. And Brennan now with 12. But back to the point about NIL. I'm sure there's girls, ladies, women on this team making money. I don't doubt that at all. I don't know if it's going to be as impactful on the women's side other than those top 5, top 10 players in the country. I don't know. I think that this program can sustain itself.
I agree.
Forward and be this.
Yes. Well,
be this.
Because there's also one thing from the female perspective of the game, you know. They're also very intentional about going to school, getting their degree, right? Yvonne Ejim is a pre-med major. You know, the focus, yes, is basketball. And yes, a handful of these girls will go play overseas and continue on with their careers, but they're also, you know, going to go be doctors like Yvonne and teachers and create a career and a profession for themselves.
Yes, that is very true. Bree Salenby bringing the ball up at 6'3". Stokes. Hybens thought about the high-low. Here's Esther Little. Stokes, 3 on the way, looks good but long. Back comes Santa Clara. Danya Stafford Collins out of Orem, Utah with that rebound. 83-40. This game was 14-13 after that first quarter. The Zags then exploded for 27 in the second, 27 in the third, and already with 15 here in the fourth, we have 5 minutes and 20 seconds to play.
You see Salenbine coming from behind, just knocking the basketball out, using her length and her size. She got beat on that play, but she used her strengths.
Loose ball. Broncos continue to battle. Possession arrow keeps it with Santa Clara. Well, I don't know these players well enough, but it's going to get awfully businesslike, I think, for them in the West Coast Conference, where they're going to be favored and expected to win every game that they play.
Yes.
And I know coaches hate it when people like me
I
say
know,
that out
have
loud,
that
because
expectation,
come on,
and
running
yeah.
the table in league, like that's
Yeah.
a stupid thing. That doesn't happen. Well, guess what?
Yeah.
I don't see anybody touching it.
Yep, I don't either.
Have to be a really bad night for the Zags. And it would have to be a really bad night for like 10 players.
Yes.
Because they're so
Yes,
deep.
that was exactly what I was going to say. Okay, maybe I could see a couple players having an off night,
Yes.
but guess what? There's 2 players sitting on the bench who are ready to come in and fill the gap.
Yes.
And can.
And so to catch the Zags on an off night, I don't know, it would have to be a pretty serious flu bug.
Yeah. For the whole team.
Yes. Well, 85-42, 4:14 to play at the McCarthy Athletic Center.
Zags leading Santa Clara by 40-plus points here in the fourth quarter. If you've seen a not so familiar face sitting on the bench for the Zags right now, they do have a new player, Lauren Whitaker, the 6'3" forward from New Zealand. Recently came over here. You know, the schedule's a little bit different down under, and now she's with the Zags. She won't be playing this year, but head coach Lisa Fortier says she's very, very excited about what she's eventually going to bring to the table. Says there's not a lot she can't do. She has a great motor, and her sister Charlotte was someone that Lisa actually tried to recruit back in the day when Lauren was just 12. So Charlotte didn't come here, but hey, it must have made an impression on Lauren because she's here now. Excited to see what she does in the future. Greg?
Thank you, AJ. And it's like a conveyor belt, right? It's just,
Yep.
it's the conveyor belt of talent
Yep.
coming into Zagville.
Some going out, but
Yeah,
more
there's
coming
always
back in.
somebody. It's just, and then you wake up and you're 20 years down the road, and you're like, you look back down the hallway you just walked through for a couple of decades, and you're back and you're like, dear Lord,
Oh, yes.
are you kidding?
Yes.
There's a good shot from downtown by number 22, Jade Katie.
You know, here's the thing. This Santa Clara team is going to continue to get better. They do have some key components on their team. You know, they, I'm sure, have had better games than this. Granted, they're up against a very good Gonzaga basketball team, top 10, like you talked about, Greg. But Santa Clara will continue to fine-tune and do well. I would not be surprised if the WCC conference shakes out and it's Gonzaga number 1 and Santa Clara number 2.
Yeah, with a lot to be settled yet. But the Zags, of course, seem to be in class all by themselves.
They do.
And this happens sometimes, but man, it's really impressive. 85-45, up by 40. And now the Zags are going deeper into the bench. Claire O'Connor, a freshman from Bellevue. Number 4 out there. Of course, we talked about Destiny. She's fought through some injuries, I believe, this year. Senior from Wichita, Kansas. But she's played well in the past for Gonzaga.
She has. And if you think about it, you know, Destiny's going up against Ejim and Hollinsworth and, you know, all of those top players day in and day out. And she's coming off the bench for them, you know, but she's still a great player.
There's O'Connor. 10 on the shot clock, under 3 to play. Stokes. Hybens the drive. Spins, what a move. A little up and under.
Patience is a virtue, right? Yeah,
Yes.
I can't get you there. Let me try this other side, and third time's a charm. Here we go.
I thought she was just going to go up with it, and then she still had one more move to make. It's like watching a game of chess out there with Hybens. She's got 6. Skip to the corner. Shot for 3 is off. Long rebound into the corner. Stafford Collins earns another possession for the Broncos. Nice catch. And the finish. That's 2 for Stafford Collins. Stokes out, Salenbine in. We've got a timeout on the floor. 2:09 to play. 87-49. Back in a moment. And a reminder, join us on SWX this Saturday for more college basketball as Eastern Washington heads to Moscow to take on the Idaho Vandals in a Big Sky doubleheader. Coverage starts at 1, women's game followed at 4, and then the men. It's the Eagles and the Vandals live this Saturday, only on SWX, your home for local sports. Well, we've been entertained. Certainly I shouldn't speak for anybody else. I've been entertained tonight. This Zag team, like it's... I think it like they play basketball the way the game was meant to be played. All this movement, screens, and players turning up a good shot for a great shot.
Yeah.
Setting up your teammate.
It's fun
to defending and scoring.
Yeah, it's fun to watch good basketball.
Yeah. Hybens. And again, Maud doesn't get enough of the publicity either with, Hollingsworth and Yvonne Ejim. This is an important player for Gonzaga. Great size, but man, she's got a motor.
She does.
She's always in 5th gear.
Yes, and you know what I love about her too? She uses her length. If you watch her defensively, her arms are always out. She can get a deflection. Sometimes you watch some of those bigs who have all this wingspan and their arms are down at their sides. Hybens is like active. Arms are out, almost like she's defending a guard.
They have her listed at 6'3". She's one of those players that actually appears to be longer than that.
Yeah.
Long arms, imposing presence in the middle. Connor's free throw line jumper is short. Gonzaga now 61.8% from the floor for the game. They're 7 of 10 this quarter, 18 of 30 for the half. They've dominated the glass. They've forced 19 turnovers, 5 on the shot clock. That's a 3 on the way off the right side of the rim. Gonzaga ball.
Speaking of those turnovers, that's really what kind of started turning it in the second quarter for the Zags, was when they started getting their hands on basketballs and creating turnovers for Santa Clara and then capitalizing on it, and they just really never took their foot off the gas after they started doing that.
Very true. There's Hybens. 30 seconds to play. O'Connor, 3 on the way. Long. Taken away by Destiny Burton. She can't convert. Broncos with the ball.
You gotta love how they're still fighting for the rebound, though.
I know. They've not taken the foot off the gas. Shot block. Salenbine, 2.6 to play. What can't this team do? 3rd block of the game by the Zag. Actually, 4th block by the Zag defense. Latu the drive, and that'll do it. 87-49 our final. Zags with 4 players in double figures. Kaylee Trong, Eliza Hollingsworth, Yvonne Ejim, and Brianna Maxwell. Led by Yvonne Ejim's 19, Hollingsworth with 18, Kaylee Trong with 13, and Brenda Maxwell with 12. But I was just as impressed with the defense. They held Santa Clara. This is a good offensive team to 32.8% shooting.
Yeah. If I'm Gonzaga at the end of this game, you just played Portland, who was picked #2 in the conference. Now you just finished with Santa Clara at home, and I mean just handled both of those games easily. You're feeling pretty good.
Yes, I agree. And the Zags out-rebounded them. I mean, just a real physical dominance in this basketball game. And again, not to beat a dead horse, but coming in and preparing for this game, and you look at the numbers, they don't. Gonzaga's got 5 players in double figures. Santa Clara's got 3. So you know Gonzaga's a better offensive team, but Santa Clara holds their opponents to 55 points a game. So you think defense is going to slow Gonzaga down a little bit. They can hit their shots, and we got a tight game.
Gonzaga's averaging 80 points. They scored 87 points tonight. They just did what they continue to do.
And remember, it was 14-13 after the first, and then Gonzaga outscored Santa Clara 27-9 in the second quarter, and that's really where they blew the game open. They held the Broncos to 9 points in that second quarter.
Yep.
Time to announce tonight's player of the game, presented by A to Z Rental. No job is too big or too small. With 8 convenient locations, we rent everything. Let A to Z Rental be your most valuable player, and it goes to number 12. Eliza did everything tonight. We go to A.J. Howell now, who's got our A to Z Rental player of the game.
That's right, guys. Eliza, this game was a 1-point game after the first quarter. You guys go on to lead by more than 40 points at some points of this game. How much does that say about you guys' ability to adapt?
Yeah, I think that it just shows how good we are this year. Last year we had so many different challenges coming, but this year we're freaking good, and yeah, it showed today, which is really exciting.
18.7 rebounds for you. Is it because Mom was in the stand?
I think that's part of the reason. I love putting in a show when she's here. She's the best supportive mom I could ever ask for. Yeah.
Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Guys.
I love that.
Thank you, Eliza. Well, it's the accent that gets your attention, and then she throws the F word. It's really good.
We are dang good.
Yeah.
I will just admit it, she says. We are good.
Yeah, 18 points, 8 of 9 from the floor, 7 rebounds, and Gonzaga with another impressive victory gets them to 15-2 and 2-0 in West Coast Conference play. And here we go. And you know this as well as anybody. It is a downhill slide now to the month of March.
Yep.
And I don't think for this program it can get here soon enough.
I agree. But you know what I do know and have faith in is that coaching staff is going to keep them ready and prepared every single practice. Yes, they're going to get it done in the games. They're going to be prepared and ready to go. But throughout the season, they're going to make sure they're ready for that postseason play.
Zag shot 59.6% from the floor for the game. For the entire game, 60% against the team that's only given up 55 points a game all year long. It's tell you what, they got my attention. They got my attention. Ladies and gentlemen, another fruitful night here at the McCarthy Athletic Center. Number 16 Gonzaga with an 87-46 victory over the Broncos of Santa Clara. For A.J. Howell, Michelle Clark, I'm Greg Heister. We'll see you next time in Zagville. Another victory for the Zags. Good night from the McCarthy Athletic Center.